Today, Fallout 76 might have rad scorpions and super mutants, but they're trying to get rid of the trolls. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. Does everybody have their points ready?
Okay, let's check them.
I got a 5.
Mine says green.
Okay, good point checking, everybody. How hype are you for the Resident Evil 2 remake? Are you regular hype or collector's edition hype? Collector's edition hype will cost you around $230 US and includes a Leon Kennedy statue, which means you don't even get both protagonists, and Capcom somehow resisted the urge to make a statue of a woman in hot pants. But it also comes with a roll of tape. It's packaged like a typewriter ink ribbon, but it's just a roll of washi tape in case you need to keep zombies out of your bullet journal. But what if you are $900 US hype? Well, then do we have a terrible deal for you. The Resident Evil 2 Remake Premium Edition, currently available for pre-order on Capcom's web store for 107,000 yen, includes 4 rolls of ink ribbon washi tape in different designs, and a quirky writer mechanical keyboard that looks like a typewriter, and is available elsewhere online for like $250, but this one says Umbrella Corp on it. So, sure, this edition might only have half the value of its retail price, but at least it's got the decency to include the actual game, Microsoft.
Players of No Man's Sky, the game that has recently risen phoenix-like from the ashes of unrealistic marketing expectations, are reporting a strange multiplayer phenomenon: altruism. This week, Kotaku and Polygon both ran stories about high-level players that land beside newer struggling players, then gift them with fabulously valuable items, things like stasis devices and freighter fuel that require a huge amount of time and resources to craft, before blasting off and piecing out like a race of super chill space philanthropists. This shit is why I play video games. I want to enter a fantasy world of spaceships, aliens, and generous rich people.
Over the years, we've talked at length about different ways that games handle griefers, and now Bethesda has wandered into the wasteland with a new strategy described by Todd Howard as, quote, turning assholes into content, which sounds like a sex thing, but is actually for the upcoming multiplayer title, Fallout 76. First off, you don't have to PvP. If you want to have a scrap with someone, you can shoot them, and it'll do a little bit of damage, as Howard describes it like a slap to challenge for a duel. If they slap you back, then you're in PvP and your guns do full damage. You can, of course, just block and ignore other players so they can't even find you. But what if you're just idly shooting at some kind of wasteland monstrosity and a sneaky player jumps in front of your bullets to start a PvP fight with you? Well, you can disable player damage on your end, so that won't even work. Which brings us to the other possible way to abuse this system. The slap still does a bit of damage. So what if someone just kills you without you ever fighting back? Well then, they're a murderer. They get no caps or experience, and they are flagged on the map for all to see as wanted murderer, and everyone else on the map is encouraged to kill them. Apparently, Bethesda asked their 100-person strong QA team to try and be the biggest assholes they could, and they got a lot of data from that. I would have asked any random sampling of 14-year-olds, but it sounds like Bethesda is confident in their solutions, and if it doesn't work out, hey, the game will have private servers. Who's with me? Trick question. No one. Stay away from me. Leave me to my barren wasteland.
As we said last week, Fortnite is now so popular and so dominant in the public imagination, they don't even need to make it easy to play their game. Because Epic doesn't want to pay Google the 30% revenue share from the official Play Store sales, if you want to play Fortnite on your Android device, you have to go to Epic's website and then download and install the APK directly. Now, of course, the average 15-year-old who just wants to play Fortnite in class instead of learning about irregular Spanish verbs doesn't care about this, which is why when you search for Fortnite on the Google Play Store, you'll now see a very unique warning. Fortnite Battle Royale by Epic Games Inc. is not available on Google Play. But you know what is available? PUBG, which is the #1 suggestion in a search for Fortnite. Now, is this just because the games are quite similar? Or because people that can't install Fortnite then just give up and install PUBG? Or is it because Google wants to subtly promote PUBG because Bluehole and Tencent don't mind sharing their profits? Or is it because Google really would just rather promote a game that doesn't require you to bypass the security measures they put in place specifically to prevent bored 15-year-olds from riddling their birthday presents with malware? Yes.
Speaking of Fortnite, did you hear that Epic is working on a way to separate mouse and keyboard players from console and mobile ones?
Oh no, that's terrible!
How's that terrible? That people playing on mobile don't get obliterated by opponents with way faster and more precise controls?
But my well of easy, predictable jokes. Peter Molyneux has been laying low recently. That was one of my last go-to punchlines.
Well, we'll always have David Cage.
Oh. Coming up, Nexon's former VP of Marketing, Vladimir Koho, has decided not to give a talk at the upcoming DevGam Summit entitled Lawbreakers: How I Blew Millions Marketing the Biggest Flop of 2017. Apparently, this decision is out of respect to the now shuttered Boss Key Productions and not because Koho is being initiated into the Shade Hall of Fame on the same night.
I want to watch the induction ceremony for the Shade Hall of Fame. I'll just sit at home with my tea.
Yeah, it's just like, you did a really good job to get here.